and indeed for 18-year-old Alan Dickens in midfield. This is his first home league game. He scored on his debut at Notts County. West Ham certainly got injury problems. Trevor Brooking and Billy Bond still out. Now they're joined by Neil Orr, Paul Goddard, and this morning by Frank Lampard, who's gone down with flu. Paul Allen will be at full-back today, Dickens in the midfield, and Francois van der Elst moves up front. Spurs also have massive injury problems. Gary Mabbott, Graham Roberts, Tony Galvin and John Lacey. They are now joined by Mike Hazard, who injured a calf in training yesterday. George Mazin is drafted into the side, and Paul Price returns to the defence. The referee is Mark Scott from Nottingham, and this is his first game at Upton Park. So it's West Ham who get us away then, attacking the goal to our left in the claret and blue shirt. Spurs, of course, in white. West Ham 5th in the table, and Spurs are 10th. Phil Parks with his first clearance. Stewart. Mazin. And the throw given to Tottenham. And Mazin will take it. With the clearance for Tottenham. Mike came off his knee for Archibald. Put it back for Hoddle. And Paul Allen trying to reach Van der Elst. And Dickens was in there as well, but here's Ricky Villa. And Houghton. And Brook away over on the far touchline, and another throw for Tottenham. Brook coming off Allen for another Tottenham throw. Brook once again, a quicker one, finding Brooks this time, and Martin just shrugging it away for the corner now to Tottenham. So Tottenham's corner taken by Gary Brook. Easy afternoon here at Upton Park. Stewart trying to get it away, and West Ham just can't force the ball at the moment into the Tottenham half of the field. Stewart's playing at left back this afternoon. Footy very closely shadowed by Mazin. Now Crooks. Footy in. Unfortunately for him, the ball goes straight to Villa. Hoddle. Van der Elst difficulty balancing himself because the ball was caught on the breeze a little bit there, but he's got it between the legs of Perryman. And Dickens very nearly getting a good shrewd ball through there. Van der Elst coming through, and he's onside. Now what's going to happen? Potty is underneath it, and it goes over for the corner. And suddenly West Ham were in with a great scoring chance there. Van der Elst breaking free, the flag stayed down. The ball over Clements, but Potty couldn't quite get the jump. He was out-jumped by O'Reilly, and Devonshire now takes the corner for West Ham. Martin and Gallagher have both come forward, and it's Martin who got that header there. Villa now turning it for Hoddle. And Pike was after him like a terrier. And Spurs again get a throw. Game hasn't taken off yet. Devonshire won't be happy with that pass. Cut out by Perryman. Archibald now to Gary Brook. It's again Perryman playing it for Archibald. And just wide of Parks' post. Archibald, who scored twice when Spurs beat West Ham at White Hart Lane, and it was a quickly taken shot. And Archibald, in fact, hasn't scored since that afternoon in late November, 8 matches ago. And Paul Price away for Tottenham. Back by Stewart. Now that won't go far enough. Archibald. Stewart's back pass looked for a moment as though it might put them into trouble, but Devonshire snaking his way through that Tottenham side. What a lovely piece of play, and finding Van der Elst at the end of it, with Allen willing to go down the right wing for it. Van der Elst to continue it, with the ball eventually coming off O'Reilly for a West Ham throw. So we've had 25 minutes of the first half now, and not a lot to be said for it. And another free kick, this time to West Ham. Wanting the Tottenham two-man wall at least to get back another token yard or two. At the moment they're about 4 or 5 yards off the ball, and that's the art of compromise. The referee got Pike to take the ball back and the wall to go back as well. Gallagher! And Coty! 17 years old, and he scores his first goal in his first game for West Ham. They don't write stories like that. Mind you, it was a very good header by Gallagher. And Clemens didn't get a touch. It came off him, and look at Coty coming in. And the youngster puts West Ham into the lead. West Ham 1, Tottenham 0. Accidental handball, the referee right. West Ham fans don't agree. There's Martin doing the repair job at the other end at the expense of Garth Brooks. Here to Book. Good shots. Power in that one. Parks well behind it. Brooks again. Martin shadowing him well, and coming off the West Ham defender for another Tottenham throw. Brooks. Now Hugh. Tottenham's free kick. Perryman will take it. Archibald. Hoddle. Oh, hit beautifully! Whiplash shot there on the half volley by Glenn Hoddle. I don't think Parks would have reached it, but fortunately for West Ham, it was just a yard or so outside. Hit superbly though. Here's Coty breaking first again, but once again O'Reilly with him. And O'Reilly away towards Crooks. A nice little cushioned header there for Villa. And now Gary Brook with Houghton sprinting up outside him. This is Houghton. And Spurs have got a few forward. Still with Houghton, and across towards Garth Crooks. Nodded back there well, and Archibald, and the shot was saved well by Brooks. Good header out from Garth Brooks. Some excellent work by Houghton, and this is where it very nearly paid off for Tottenham, with Brooks having played it back, and Archibald hitting it first time, but Parks saved it. Clark. Houghton back. Houghton in quick. Clark getting in quickly as well. Van der Elst couldn't pick it up. Ball Allen. Coty off in pursuit to it. With Hassan close at hand, but a good ball by Coty for Devonshire. Getting his shot in and fisted away well by Clements. Good shot there by Devonshire. He scored one this season. Coty played a little part in that by playing the ball for Devonshire. Hit it well. Tip flicked over with excellent timing by Clemens. So it's West Ham's corner. 3 minutes of the first half left now. Jeff Pike with it, and a slight problem for Spurs. Houghton slightly injured there, needing a little bit of attention, but a word or two from the referee at any rate. But he's okay to go on now. Pike with the corner. Gallagher going in for the header, and it was as well for Spurs that O'Reilly was there. And there's no doubt that Gallagher and Martin are presenting quite a big threat to Spurs' defence from these corners. Now Devonshire. Another chip through, and offside. Alvin Martin it was who was offside. Back he goes to look after Garth Crooks. Stewart with the header away. Hoddle tried to make a contact, but here's Devonshire. Well played there by Perriman. Villa. Mason. Play again by Archibald, and a nice touch by Villa. Now Hoddle onto the left boot. Then just wide. It's a couple of almost 30-yard shots he's whipped in. A half volley that went just wide of the right-hand post. And that one that saw just wide of the left-hand post as Hoddle was looking at it. Yes, foul by Mason that time. Another free kick to West Ham, leading by a goal to nil, wide on half-time. Pike and Devonshire behind it. The West Ham skipper today. Price with his header helped on by Hoddle, but Devonshire once more for West Ham, being pushed into that touchline position by Villa, who just prevented the ball from going for the corner. Into time added on, and there can't be a lot of it. Devonshire with the throw for West Ham. A half-time whistle, and the first half that was brought alive after 25 minutes with a goal by the 17-year-old Tony Cottee. After Gallagher's header hit the crossbar, he was there directing a good downward header into the back of the Spurs net. So half-time then here at Upton Park is West Ham 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Now attacking the goal to our left in white, and in fact they've not scored in their last 7 away games in the league, and that clearly is a record that they need to put right this afternoon. They're down by that goal scored by Tony Cottee. Villa and Devonshire. And now Van der Elst. And now here's Allen. A free kick then to West Ham. So it's a free kick which Jeff Pike will take. Clark poised in that Tottenham penalty area. Martin's in there as well. Here. Finding Brook. Played for Steve Archibald. And now here's Villa again. In once more for Archibald. And Brook hitting it well, and was that pushed away by Parks? Obviously Spurs thought so. The referee looked hard at the linesman, who was hardly in the best place to see it. The referee must have had a better view of it. Certainly the impression I got was that Parks did just push that away. The referee making an explanation there to Gary Brook, whose shot it was. Dickens. Controlled piece of play under pressure by Dickens again. was through there, and there must have been a handball as he did so, because it's a free kick for West Ham. What can they produce from this? There's the wall, tense, waiting and wondering what's going to happen. Van der Elst playing it now for Pike. Struck it well and off the crossbar. Well, the West Ham captain for the day. Billy Bonds, of course, is the normal captain. Frank Lampard, the deputy captain, both out. And Pike very nearly getting on the score sheet. Times now when Spurs are pushing 4 men right forward. Archibald and Crooks, supported by Villa and Gary Brook, in an effort to pull back this 1-goal deficit. Clark. Tackled strongly but fairly by Price as Hoddle gets it back to Clements. It's Gary O'Reilly. Perryman wanting it, directing everything now from the centre of Tottenham's midfield. Here, Archibald, Perryman, here, Archibald. Again, the Argentine. Change from Ray Stewart, though. Then finds Hoddle. Who in turn finds Devonshire dogging him all the way. Houghton getting in there! And very nearly getting it home. What a great little darting there by the Tottenham fullback, Chris Houghton. But there seemed to be so little danger as Hoddle hit that ball. And suddenly, as it flicked off Martin's head, I think it was, Houghton was in there, and he got there first. But it's wide. Clark. Now Pike trying to feed Devonshire on that far side once more. Hoddle sticking with him. Devonshire brought down, and was he given a penalty? No, he hasn't. Oh yes, he has. Well, it wasn't a very clear indication. So Ray Stewart, who has scored with penalties on each of West Ham's last 3 games, there was the incident. As Masden brings down Devonshire, and Ray Stewart, as Ray Clements will well know, likes to thunder the ball into the net. He scored in the last 3 games against Watford, Swansea and Notts County. So, chance now for West Ham to get the cushion of a 2-goal lead. It rests with the right boot of Ray Stewart, and Ray Clements is the man who will seek to stop him. Hits them with the power that he always does. Clements wasn't all that far away, but right into the corner it went. West Ham 2 goals to the good. Remarkable record, 10 goals this season Ray Stewart has scored, 9 of them from the spot. O'Reilly again. Big task now for Spurs. Remembering they've not scored in the last 7 league games away from home, and in that time they've conceded 14. That's 2 a game, which is what's happened again so far today. Brooks, Perryman. And the ball in the end turned back by Martin to Phil Parks. Just at a time really when you felt that Spurs were getting back into it and were capable of pulling it back to 1-1. Although the referee he wasn't very positive in his signal, clearly had no doubts whatsoever. He marched firmly to the spot. Now Dickens. That's not a bad ball, but Van der Elst is offside. Well, that's a stupid thing for Van der Elst to do, and he'll be booked for that. himself for that. It was totally unnecessary. The ball had been placed by Gary O'Reilly, and the referee really had no option. A throw to West Ham, and just as Spurs seem to be taking the initiative just before that second goal, so it seems that West Ham are in the ascendancy again now. A quarter of an hour to go. Cotty again for West Ham, getting it wide of Hoddle and finding Devonshire. Here's the ball now for Pike. 3-0. What a good goal. Superbly worked. And now Spurs are dead. Played beautifully there for Pike, just inside the far post. Jeff Pike notches up his 4th of the season. Seems to enjoy doing it whenever the television cameras are around. We've seen 1 or 2 very good ones from him over the last 2 or 3 years, and that was certainly very well taken. Merriman, volleyed there by Hoddle towards Gary Brook, and Spurs fail to pull one back. Allen to Clark, timed that intervention fairly well, and I think it might be trouble for Paul Price. I thought for a moment the referee looked as though he was feeling for a book, remembering that he'd had a word with Price in the first half, but it's simply a free kick to West Ham, which Pike will take. Towards Sandy Clark. Oh, Clements somehow just got a touch to push that against the crossbar. Could so easily have been the 4th. West Ham's throw. Well, the disconsolate Spurs manager, Keith Birkinshaw, his side 3 goals down. Mike Hazard there, the man who was injured yesterday in training and couldn't play today, the second row. Price, bring it forward, Gallagher away, Villa. Somehow epitomises Spurs' performance today, a stumbling performance, particularly when the going got really tough in the second half. But here they come again. Archibald, Hoddle, and Martin getting it away as far as Villa. Playing time added on now as Houghton takes it up for Tottenham. And driven well, and I'm not sure that he quite knew how he did it, but he stopped it nonetheless, Phil Parks. The referee getting in the way a little bit there, and West Ham are not out of the wood by any means yet, but now they are, as the final whistle goes. A fine victory for West Ham. 2 of the goals, Stewart a penalty, and Jeff Pike, but there's no doubt that this young man, 17-year-old Tony Cotty, who got West Ham on the way with that opening goal after Gallagher's header had hit the crossbar. What a day for him, his first league game, and a goal in it. Looking in the crowd, no doubt, to see if friends, maybe parents, who knows, are there. Well, we've seen him, and we've seen West Ham win. A final score, West Ham 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
Of course, West Ham had every right to be happy with that result. Not so Spurs. It was a poor performance by them, and indeed their manager, Keith Birkinshaw, kept the Spurs players in their dressing room for an hour afterwards. And when he came out, Keith said, "I've said some things in there that I don't want to repeat to you now. There's nothing more that I can say about that game." Well, what a contrast up that short West Ham corridor. And what a day for 17-year-old Tony Cotty, making his first appearance.
Well, I stayed overnight at the hotel with the first team, but I didn't actually know till 1:45 this afternoon. And the manager called me into this office and said, "You're playing, are you confident?" And I said, "Yes." And he played me.
And what did you really think then?
I was very nervous to start off with, but once I got out on the pitch, I was OK, I thought.
Actually, I saw 1 or 2 of the senior players. I think Sandy Clark was having a word with you in the boot room and so on. What sort of things were they saying to you at this time?
They were just saying play your natural game, and you know, keep it easy and we'll help you and those sort of things.
Were your mum and dad here today?
Yes, they was here, but as I say, I didn't know till this afternoon, so I couldn't really tell all the people that I'd like to have been here.
That must have been a surprise for them to see you playing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. They arrived and they obviously didn't know that I was playing.
Have you seen them since the game?
No, I haven't.
No. Well, sitting alongside you is a man who's played many, many times for West Ham, Trevor Brooking, sadly out with injury. What did you think, first of all, of Tony, Trevor?
Oh, terrific. I think, you know, Tony, over the last season or two, with the first youth team and the reserves as well, when he's got the opportunity there, has got this knack of putting the ball in the net. And although the chance when it came turned out to be relatively comfortable, in fact, you know, it's the anticipation Tony showed in getting into that position. And he has that habit of just finding those positions, and he has a large percentage of them. He tucks his away like he did today.
As Trevor says, you have the knack of scoring goals. Somebody said you got 70 in all competitions last season. Is that right?
55 it was.
55.
Yeah.
Someone exaggerated. But you've also got a few this season.
I've got 30 this season.
30?
Yeah.
Would you like to see again, I'm sure you would, the one that really has set it all alight for you?
Yeah, I
the
would,
one today.
yes.
Well, here we go. It was from a Jeff Pike free kick, wasn't it? Now, tell me what your thinking was here, Tony.
Well, I think I went to the near post and turned round, and I think it's Joe
Gallagher.
who heads
Very
the
good
ball.
header.
And Ray just gets the touch onto the bar, I think,
Now, what's your thought now?
and it just bounced just right from there.
You still had to get it down, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Now all hell let loose, doesn't it, eh? Eh? That's some moment, that.
Yeah, it's a great feeling.
Yeah. What did you feel about the pace of it all? I mean, did you find it quite comfortable or not?
I was very tired after the goal because they couldn't catch me. But after that, I settled down a little bit. But towards the end, I got cramp in both my legs. But I found it okay. It wasn't as fast as I was expecting it to be.
Yes. Have you always been a West Ham supporter?
Yeah, I was born in West Ham, so ever since I can remember, I've been a West Ham supporter.
But when we talk about the talent that's off the field, you're a part of that talent. Now, what exactly is the position with you and the possibility of coming back fairly soon?
Well, I've just started some jogging. I mean, really doing the 2 or 3 mile road runs just to build up my fitness and stamina. A bit of a physical wreck at the end of those. But at the end of the month, I hope to be back towards full training, and really then I think most of February is a hard slog getting the general fitness. So I think I'm looking to about 6 to 8 weeks' time, really, realistically.
To actually getting into a first-team
well,
situation?
to a game situation, yeah.
Yeah. So by the end of the season, certainly, it'll be all systems go.
Well, I hope certainly to make the last few weeks of the season. Although I must say, sitting there today, I was getting a bit tired watching. I hate to think what it'd been like running around.
Well, Spurs, in fact, signed the match ball for you, Tony. They've said maybe that we would like to present it to you. I'm sure that's going to get a place on your mantelshelf. And have you got a video at home as well?
Yes, I have.
You'll be taping the big match tonight, then?
Yeah.
Sure, it'll be the first of many, anyway.
Let's hope so.
And indeed, young Tony Cottee might well keep his place in the West Ham side at home to Luton on Tuesday. Paul Goddard.